Hey, what's up guys, it's DJ Phil here, and I've got another updated What's on My iPhone video for the month, and this is going to be my top 25 Cydia tweaks and a few themes for you. So sit back, get a comfy chair ready because it's going to be a long one, and we'll get to it right after this. Okay guys, hope you're all well. Now, I thought I'd make an updated What's on My iPhone video with basically the top 25 Cydia tweaks of 2012 really, and I sort of decided to do that because I had quite a lot of people asking me to do it and asked me when I was going to make a new one, so I thought, heck, I'll just make one now. I don't know how many of these are actually the same as the old video because I haven't actually kind of looked at that, and I'm just sort of going to go through them all, and I think there's quite a few new ones as most of these are sort of been released since May, which is when I did the last one. So these are all in alphabetical order. I'll put all of the names of these in the description. I'll put sort of annotations on the video for you so you know you need to be downloading if you find one you like. So to get things starting, we're going to look at one called AppSent. Now, we'll just go ahead into the App Store. This basically, when you download an app, instead of normally it would say loading and then installing, whereas this one it just says like the percentage. So we're just going to go ahead and just find an app just randomly and just download a free app just so you can see what this does. This is quite a good little one. We'll just download, let's see, I probably should just choose anything really. We'll just download Flow Free, so we'll just go ahead and download that, and you'll see that it'll kind of have a cool thing. This thing is called Password Pilot. It automatically puts your password in. That's one of my tweaks later on, so I'll go through that in a bit more detail later on. So you can see here, instead of saying loading with a little bar, now it has a little bar and it has the percentage. So you can see that it goes up like that, and you know, you can sort of, this is going to be handy for sort of larger apps because you can obviously, if you're downloading like a gigabyte app or 500 megabyte app or whatever, you know sort of where you're at with that really. So that's going to be handy for those sort of things, more than the smaller ones I should say really. But still, I like to use it. I keep that on my iPhone. Obviously, as you know, I go through a hell of a lot of different tweaks and that, sort of, you know, a few each day, and a lot of them I sort of find are not compatible with other tweaks or give me resprings and all this sort of thing. So I only keep the best tweaks on my phone, which is what I'm going through today. So all the tweaks that I go through today are going to be the best ones sort of for you, and hopefully you haven't heard of all of them really. Now the next one is called Awesome Quick Messages. Now a lot of these I've actually done reviews on, you know, in my top 5 Cydia Tweaks series, so you can go ahead and sort of find slightly more in detail sort of reviews of them there, but I'm obviously going to go through them here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn iMessage off. The next one is called Awesome Quick Messages. Now the guy who developed this app commented on one of my videos and said that he's actually updated this for iMessage, but I mean, I've tried it for iMessage and I couldn't get it to work, so I don't know whether I need to do another update or something. But this one, I'm just going to go ahead and send myself a text message, not an iMessage, just a text message, and just quit out of this, and then you'll be able to see the little pop-up bar that comes up when you so you click the pop-up bar there and you get this nice little thing. And this is very, I like it because it's very reminiscent of like an Apple kind of thing that they would do. So I think possibly maybe in future generations of iOS this might be something that they include really. Kind of a quick reply, quick compose sort of little window. But I mean, that's a quick little look. If I just go ahead and just come out of this, I'll sort of just turn iMessage back on and actually see if I can get this to work. But I mean, last time I did it, it just kind of came up with the, you know, open the Messages app as it normally would really. So I'll just do that again with iMessage on and just see if that actually works. Oh, there we go. Okay, I stand sort of corrected there. This one, so obviously this is working with iMessage as well now. So, I mean, when I reviewed it, the update wasn't actually available for iMessage, it was just text message. And I said in the review, actually, that if this was ever available for iMessage, then that would just be an amazing tweak. So, I would definitely recommend you go download this now. This is actually working for iMessage and text message. Just, I know a lot of people who have sort of jailbroken devices use Byte SMS, but I don't really like that. I just don't get on with it too well. So this little sort of Apple style quick compose is just really nice as far as I'm concerned. So that's called Awesome Quick Messages, and I definitely recommend that. That's sort of one of my favourite out of all of these ones. Now, recently, I think a couple of days ago, I did a review of this banner disable, but I mean, I'll quickly just remind you of what this is. So, the tweak is actually called banner disable, and it gives you this do not disturb button in your settings, very much like the iOS 6 one. And then obviously you can go ahead and enable this and then not get any notifications whatsoever. And like I say, the new version of this, you get this cool little sort of crescent moon as well. I think it was after iOS 6 was sort of showing off that they showed that they kind of included it into this tweak. So, I mean, I don't need to show you, obviously you wouldn't get any notifications now if you sort of had this enabled, then obviously you can just go ahead and disable it. There's quite a few of these sort of things out there. I've tried a few of the others that are kind of notification center widgets and things like that. But this do not disturb one is my favourite because obviously it's easy just to jump into the settings and just tap that do not disturb, and then you're sort of good to go then really. The next one is just biter font. Obviously, I think everybody who knows anything about jailbreaking is going to know what biter font is. I've sort of gone through a period of not using it very much actually, and I've sort of used it sort of quite a bit recently with different sort of fonts and that. The font I'm using at the moment is called Sensation, but I'll leave that for now. I'll just go through that a bit later on. So, I mean, if you don't know what biter font is, you can obviously just go in here, you can search for fonts, and then it just links you to Cydia where you can download them, and then you can just go ahead and apply them within biter font, and then you're good to go really. So, I mean, you know what biter font is, I don't really need to go into too much detail to that really. The next one, again, the one I've reviewed recently, this one's called Check. So if you use your mail quite a lot, then this is going to be a good one. I sort of tend to use my mail quite a bit, so I don't actually have any email, so I haven't even see here. So usually, obviously, you press edit, and then you have to go through one by one, and then press delete. Whereas with this, you would just go press edit, hold one down, then it starts flashing, and then very much like the shift button on kind of Windows, you hold this down, it starts flashing, then you can slide down to the bottom, just tap that, and then that selects all of them there, and then just deletes them in one go, which is really good. So that's called Check, and I'm sort of a fan of that because I use my mail app quite a lot, and you know it's easy just to delete multiple messages like that when you kind of want to get rid of all your spam and all that kind of thing. So next up, we're looking at Cydia Delete. I went through my sort of Cydia packages and I was just sort of writing down everything that I've got installed. So I'll literally just go through everything because you haven't might not know about it. So Cydia Delete just means that you can go ahead and sort of tap on these. These are all my Cydia tweaks here, so you can just delete them from the springboard rather than having to go to Cydia and going into your packages and whatever else. So that's kind of a good easy thing, and I've noticed it doesn't actually work with all the packages you can install from Cydia. There's a couple that I've used recently where you do actually just have to go into Cydia and do it rather than just pressing that little X as you would with like an App Store app or something like that. So that's called Cydia Delete. Next up is Folder Enhancer. Now this is probably my second favourite one after the Awesome Quick Messages. I don't know if people, I don't know how aware people are really of these tweaks themselves. But I mean, this one is just like, so these are all my games. So Folder Enhancer just lets you have as many apps in the folder as you want, so you can have multiple home screens here. So obviously games is really good because I can just have them all in one folder there, rather than only having 12 or however many the default is. So that's that. So that's Folder Enhancer. Next up is Forecast. I mean, I used this for a while, then I sort of stopped, and I've just installed it again today. Forecast. A lot of people actually ask me what this little widget thing is on the lock screen here. So it just overwrites your normal clock here, and just puts your weather. So the good thing about this is that it's a tweak, so you don't have to go and iFile and put all these annoying codes and things in. You just have to install it, and then it uses your weather information from your actual weather app itself. So that's really handy and easy to set up. All you do is just download it. That's pretty good. So next up, we're looking at the Twitter widget for iOS 6, which is included in this tweak. So this is the iOS 6 Twitter widget. So obviously, it's, like I say, it's an iOS 6 Twitter widget, but you can get it on iOS 5 like I have. So you can see here, you just have the little Twitter widget here, so you can just do tap to tweet, and then it brings up the Twitter Quick Compose little widget there. And if I'm talking fast, I apologise, but for some reason my camera can only do 20-minute videos at a time. So I'm going to try and keep this under 20 minutes if I can, but if not, you won't know about it because I'll just do 2 videos and edit them together. But anyway, I'll sort of try and be really quick through these so I don't waste too much of your time. So iOS Twitter widget, like I say, very sort of self-explanatory. You can sort of guess what that is, but that's free, I believe, on Cydia right now. Again, Ipsum. Now this is a good one because this is something that I use pretty much every day. This one, so I'm just going to go and actually, I've just realised I didn't actually turn iMessage back on. That's probably why that quick messages thing worked. But anyway, if you go ahead and download the quick messages from Cydia, it does in fact support the iMessage, because that's what he said. Where am I going? He's the developer guy said that it does. So I've got iMessage turned on now, and that's weird why I don't actually have iMessage turned on. Anyway, I don't know, I'll work that out later. I'm just going to go ahead and text myself and just lock my device so I can just show you this notification thing. So like I say, this one's called Ipsum. So you might get like an email or something that you just want to dismiss from here without too much hassle. So with Ipsum, you slide it across and you slide it back, and then you can see it turns red, and then you can just let go, and then it'll delete it from the lock screen like that. And I really like that, because I might get a text or something and I think I don't want to reply to that yet, so I just go ahead and delete it from there, and then I can just go ahead and sort it out later on. So that's really nice. So that's called Ipsum. Next one, we've got multi-icon mover. Now for ages, when I actually just jailbroke my phone, I didn't know about this, and where I was sort of moving my home screens around, it was just really annoying. But you can say you want to move multiple ones. So we've got two things here, and I want to put those into my games folder, let's say. So if I just go ahead and press the home button. Okay, that was a fail. So if I just go ahead and select these again, go into my games folder, slide across, and then you can move multiple icons at once. And obviously you can, if you've got multiple home screens, you can do that as well. But obviously I only try to keep mine to a minimum really, so I just have two there. But like I say, that's how you can use that. NC settings we've got coming up next. Ever since I installed NC settings, which was about month or 2 months ago, I haven't used SB settings. Well, it's pretty longer than that actually, but I've rarely used it. Well, I only used SB settings when I first jailbroke it until this came out, and like I say, I never use SB settings at all now. Everybody's asking me what this this kind of skin is for my NC settings. It's actually called Noisy Elegance. So if you go ahead in Cydia and just search for Noisy Elegance, there's like a theme. It's a notification center theme. Oh, actually, I suppose I could just quickly go into Winterboard and show you it. Yeah, it's called Noisy Elegance, and it's just a Winterboard theme for your notification center. So if I just go ahead and find this, yeah, you can see it's called Noisy Elegance NC. So that's, if you want to go download that, that's that. And actually, while I think about it, I hope people are sort of watching the whole one rather than skipping to and fro. But this wallpaper, I shall put in the description a link to download it, because I'm getting so many questions about what the wallpaper is. So I will just put a link below for that to save you that. So NC settings, I'll just quickly go through it. I have mine all set up to sort of my top ones here. The one I use most is this one, is a power option, so you can just go ahead and respring quickly and reboot your device, which is cool. And then obviously you can slide across and have this in whatever order you want. So I mean, you can play with that yourself. You just go into the settings menu and then find NC settings, and you can order it all however you want really. And I'm thinking I'm not going to get this into 20-minute video, so what I'll do is when I get to sort of 20 minutes, I'll just stop the video and start a new one, and then just join the two together. So because I'm trying to do this in one take, obviously. But like I say, you won't know that because I'll just edit it together, so don't worry. So NC settings is that one. No folder label. Now this is one I sort of found a few weeks ago, and I actually really like it. I feel that because a lot of these sort of tweaks, they just take away all your icon labels, and I don't know why, but I just like them on my icons, and I just get a bit flustered when I'm trying to find an icon and it doesn't have a name and I just can't find it. So this, to just delete the labels for your folders, is actually really good, and I'm sort of a huge fan of that. That's sort of one of my sort of favourites out of all of these. Well, I'd say they're all my favourites really, because obviously I've kept them on my phone after I've installed them. So you can see here, obviously my folders don't have any labels on them, so that's good. Because actually before, I just found that I would just name them all like games. They all had the same names anyway, so there's just no point really having labels on them. Next one is called No Keyboard Spotlight. So a lot of the time I would be on my home screen and I would accidentally slide across like this, and then whenever I did that, for some reason, when it just pulled the keyboard up, it just got quite laggy, and it just took a couple of seconds just to slide across. So I installed this no keyboard spotlight tweak, and obviously the keyboard doesn't come up for the spotlight. Obviously when you click onto search, it pops up and then you can go ahead and do your search, but until you actually do that, it just stays hidden, which is good, which just makes it smoother just generally. So that's why I installed that, and I've sort of kept that on there for quite a while, which is nice. Next up, we've got one called No Lock Icon. Now this is obviously a really simple tweak, but you just have your lock screen, and normally you'd have a little padlock in the middle at the top here just to show that you're on your lock screen. I don't really see the point of that, because I think most people would realise that I'm in fact on my lock screen right now. So that's just kind of just to declutter the status bar a little bit, because obviously you can see I'm trying to keep this as minimal as possible really. So that's sort of a tiny little tweak really, but